I'm not as nice in real life. I'm a very blunt person, a very blunt person.
There's a lot of people out there, they're scared because they're scared of like the success or failing.
Faith has part, that's a huge part. Family as well. Financially, I'm settled. I'm not worried about money.
What have been the biggest misconceptions about being a content creator?
I think the biggest misconception for me is money.
Ooh.
People think like, oh man, you getting paid. Really, it costs me money.
What up? It's your girl Motivation with V, and this is Get Real with V, where we're going to get real, we're going to get raw, and we're going to get down to the truth. And I'm your host, Veronica Suazo. Welcome back, y'all. This is another episode, and today we have a very, very special guest, and I know a lot of you out there know who this is. He's somebody that's well known in the Bay Area. He's known for his food content, but not only that, he pours into his community. And I've been watching you. A lot of the people in my circle have also know who you are. And we see all the work that not only you do with small businesses, but within your community. And that's one of the things that I like to highlight on this podcast. Like, I love having folks here that I can pour into you guys and highlight you and your story, because you're doing that constantly every day. You know, you go to these small businesses, you highlight them, you share their food, and you help their business grow. And you also are invited to a lot of these community events that you also pour into. So I'm a firm believer that it's good to get poured into too. So that's what this podcast is about. And I'm excited to have you here, and I'm honored to have you here because you were actually one of the few folks that I envisioned having on this podcast. Earlier, I talked to you about manifestation and law of attraction. And it's crazy. Like, I had seen you make a post about community, and I was like, something inside me was like, just send him a message. And I was like, fuck it. What do I have to lose? Right. And I've sent messages to other food creators, and I had not heard back. So I'm humbled and I'm appreciative that you even took the time to follow me back and respond and be like, yeah, let's do it. I'm down. Like, that just shows how genuine you are and in being in community and really helping other people elevate. So I just want to tell you that I appreciate you for being here. Like, it literally made my day. I sent my brother a screenshot and I was like, hey, bro, guess what I'm going to have on the podcast? He's like, fuck yeah, let's go. So just know, like, there's people in the Bay that really do fuck with you and who you are and what you bring to the community.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So without further ado, I'll let you introduce yourself. Let the folks know who you are. What do you do? Who is Adonis?
Yeah, my name is Adonis Marcellino. On Instagram, I'm known as ImAdonisEats. And from the beginning, I knew that the main thing was going to be about food because that's something that is just a passion of mine to go out and break bread with my family. And I love to seek out gems, food that makes you smile, service that just fills your spirit. But I also knew that I was going to go and rant about the other things that's important to me. You know, I'm a little bit older than your typical content creator. I just turned 47.
Damn.
And so, you know, I have some ideas that I think can make someone successful, you know, things that worked for me that I've shared with other people, you know. So there's already things that I've been wanting to talk about. So I actually laid that out in my first post. I said, I'm going to talk about food, but I'm also going to rant, you know. So
yeah,
I welcomed everybody on my journey. And to be invited onto your pod, to me, is so humbling. Thank you for everybody that follows and supports the channel. And, you know, when I first started doing this, I had a number in my head. Like, I said, you know, if I had 10,000 followers, I'm going to feel like I did a cool job. You know what I'm saying? And then I blew through that number like in like 30 days. Damn. And then I had a viral video. You know about the viral video, the first one?
Which one was it?
So the first viral video was where I addressed a comment where somebody asked me or said, you're Asian, why do you talk like that?
Oh, yeah, you have it pinned on your
Yeah, so that was the first big one. I think right now it's sitting under 3 million views. But that post alone, you know, because you could look at the analytics, that post brought me over 22,000 followers. And it happened overnight. So I went from like trending, you know, like 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. And it was like I was already getting followers from a lot of my favorite foodies, you know what I'm saying, and other creators and other creatives in the Bay. And then that popped off and it just took it to another level. And if you don't know what it's like to go viral, like really viral, what it was like was I filmed the response and then I posted it for fear that I might lose it. Because back then you had to do a reel under 1 minute and 30 seconds, right? Now it's like 3 minutes. But back then it was 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I didn't know how to edit back then. So I had to do it 1 minute and 30 seconds the way I wanted it, right? I did it hella times. And then when I was like, okay, that's it. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And you know, there's these ideas that you're not supposed to post on certain days at certain times, right? You're supposed to post like in the morning when people are having their coffee, or you're supposed to post like, 5 o'clock when people get off work, or maybe on lunch. I posted it at like 11 o'clock, like on a Friday.
At night?
At nighttime, like 11:30. Like you're not supposed to do that, right? But I posted it because I didn't want to lose it. And as soon as I posted it, I knew something was different because the engagement was already coming. Like it was already like, 20 likes, 30 likes, 40 likes. Every time I looked at it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I went to bed and then I woke up the next day with like thousands of new followers. And what it looked like was the notifications were 100, 100, 100. 100 likes, 100 comments, 100 follows. That means it maxed out. Number went beyond that.
Damn.
And then I would wait like, 20 minutes and it would do this again, 100, 100, 100. And it was like that for like 2 weeks. And it was kind of crazy because the comments are coming in, the followers are coming in. I'm having people from, when I was a kid that I went to grade school with hitting me up. People from the military from 25 years ago hitting me up. It was just crazy. It was a little bit overwhelming, to be honest with you. So when that popped off, I was really going to church a lot. I haven't been going to church a lot. All right, I'm a Christian, but I haven't been going to church a lot lately. But back then I was religiously in church. And I go to, it's at Reardon, Cornerstone, San Francisco. And, at the end of the Christian service, they ask you to come up if you need a prayer. I came up and I asked for a prayer and I was crying. And she was like, who would you want me to pray on you about? I'm like, I'm going viral right now. I don't even know what to do with it. Like that was what was on my mind. What am I going to do with this platform? It wasn't even like, oh my God, or yes, I'm winning. It wasn't like that. It was like fear.
Oh.
It was fear and like a big question mark. Why is this happening to me? You know what I'm saying? So after some time, I just really came to the understanding that I'm supposed to use this platform for something. I don't really know what, but since then, I've just been taking opportunities that come to me. Just like you send me a message, you invite me onto the pod, I take a look at your stuff. Oh, she's doing her thing. That's kind of what I've been doing. If somebody hits me and they're doing their thing, they're doing something. I don't care about how many followers you got. What I'm looking at is, are you doing something? And does it align with my principles? And I take those opportunities. So ever since I've been in this game now for 3 years, so I've been invited on festival panels, food panels. I've been invited on pods. I've been invited to read to the kids in grade school. I've been invited to high schools to be the keynote speaker for the talent show. I've been invited to Career Day. Like all these opportunities that I don't see other creators doing, to be honest with you. And so taking it day by day, right? Like they say, faith is just taking a step one at a time. You don't see the whole staircase. You just take it one step at a time. And that's all I've been doing. I take it one step at a time, one day at a time, one opportunity at a time. You knock on my door, I take a look at your stuff. Oh, I like it. It's legit. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes what happens is this leads to something else. I mean, coming up in here in your studio already, I'm like, wow, this is a nice studio. I might have to get in here. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the gist of it.
No, I love that. I mean, everything you just mentioned is so real. And I love how you go into, that viral moment where you're like, what am I going to do with this platform? And, there's a lot of people out there that I know, like there's upcoming business owners, founders, people that are trying to start a podcast or make content, and they're scared because they're scared of like the success, getting the success or failing. And to hear somebody who's, gone viral and, has used their platform to do a lot of different things within the community, even just you sharing like how, you went to church and you were like, what? I need you to pray for me because I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this, with going viral. And that's a real thing that people are scared of. They're scared of, like, they don't know if they're going to be able to deal with the fame. So, I mean, I know you went to church and you prayed, but what do you think it was? Was it that helped you like stay grounded as you like maneuver? I know you said you take it 1 week at a time, one opportunity at a time, one task at a time, which even for myself, like I can't focus on the future because if I do, I'm going to spiral.
It's too much.
It is. Yeah. It's if you don't ground yourself and if you think too much about the future, there's no way you're not going to spiral. I've done it. Sometimes I still do it and I have to meditate or like ground myself. But I guess my question is like, what do you do to help you stay grounded?
Well, faith that's one part. That's a huge part. Family as well. So I'm married. I've been with my wife. We've been together for like 25 years.
Congrats. By the way, because that's something you don't see nowadays. 25 years is a long time.
Yeah, we've been married for about 10 now. We got 3 kids, 2 adults, and a 10-year-old. I'm always close to saying toddler, but no, he's not a toddler anymore.
They're not babies no more, right?
But having a stable family that is very supportive of what you do is a huge thing. And we started talking about this earlier, right? And I think like when you're doing like a creative thing, whether it's, you're doing your pod or you're going to do content, or maybe you're going into a new career, like a career that you could really like dive into. Sometimes it's better to be single and not have family, because when you have family, then you have responsibilities that come first.
Yeah.
Right. And had this happened 15, 20 years ago, I couldn't do it, because not only mentally was I not ready, but I had to take care of my family. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, for a while, I just really buckled down with my career and focused on my relationship with my wife. Shout out to Joanna.
Hey, shout out to your wife.
And shout out to my kids, Prince, Jordan, and Bishop. But then, in this older age, you're more settled as family. Financially, I'm settled. I'm not worried about money. So then I could just focus on this as a real passion project. And I think that's another big thing, too, that helps me a lot, is my motivation for this is really not the fame. It's not about free food. Because to be real, there's a lot of foodies out there. And then why they do this is because they want the meals. Because they want to eat good. They want to travel good. So they're trying to be an influencer so they can get all the sponsorships. And then at some point you're big enough and they want to make this a full-time thing. In order to make this a full-time thing, you got to get paid. I'm not into that. That's not the lifestyle I want. I'm not saying that I'm against getting paid. That's just not me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't mind getting paid by like Coca-Cola or McDonald's or something like that. You know what I mean?
Where are the brands at? Where are the partnerships at? Come on, y'all are sleeping on
Ben Adonis, you know what I mean? New era, I'll take those sponsorships.
He got an SF hat on. Don't you worry. What shoes you got on?
Yeah, I got my New Balances. I'm in my dad phase. You know what I'm saying?
New Balance. So, come on.
I think it's important to have like principles set. One thing I've come across when I talk to people, especially in the content game, like people don't really have their principles set. You know what I mean? Like mission statements. This is something I've talked to about with like a nephew. I got a nephew. He got a real estate game, and he's in the real estate game. And when you get into a company, right, they often have a mission statement for the company.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot of people, especially when you're doing entrepreneurship, you know, if you're a content creator and you're trying to be influencer, that's a type of entrepreneurship. You have to have some principles in line, meaning these are things that don't change, you know, things about like, you know, being like leadership principles, having good judgment and having integrity, being honest, you know, those type of things. So for me, those things have been solidified, you know, over years, and I'm still working on them. I'm not perfect, you know, but like integrity is a big thing for me. And, you know, for me, integrity means doing the right thing when no one's watching, right? So like, let's take that into the food game. Nobody's gonna know if I take this money, do I take the money? You know what I mean? Do I take the free food? Well, for me, no, that's not right, because I say I don't do that. You know what I mean? If I did do it, I'll disclose it, which is the right thing to do. Again, I don't have any problem with money. It's just I don't want to do something that if it came to light, it's going to reflect badly upon me, my family, you know, my brand that I'm building. You know what I'm saying? So I think those are the things that help keep me grounded.
I appreciate you saying that. Just having you here and like, this is real, like, is reminding me why I'm doing what I do. And for the past like month or so, I've been struggling because I've been going through like personal stuff. And I feel like when you're going through some personal stuff and you're like pouring yourself into the community, pouring yourself into things like this, and it's hard to see like what you're getting in return, it can really mess with you. And so like being real with you, like having you here is reminding me like why I'm doing this.
Yeah. We all have to remind ourselves, you know what I mean? Because even for me, like it's good to, if you have the Bible, right, you go back to the Bible, like, you know, what would the book have me doing? For me, my wife is really strong with the word. And so she'll remind me things when I'm falling off, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I'm hot-tempered too. I'm an emotional person. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, you feel me?
Yeah.
Sometimes I got to be reeled back in, you know what I'm saying? You lose yourself in your passion sometimes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I appreciate that. But yeah, it's just a big like eye opener for me, and meeting you, because it's reminding me why I am doing this. I'm the same way as you. I don't get anything in return. I'm putting money into this podcast, into the marketing, because I really want to pour into the community in the same way you are, just a little different.
Yeah.
I want people to excel. I want people to feel empowered, to want to see that there's so many other pathways that they can go, and it's not just this one way. I was born in the city, born and raised in the city too, so I was like around gangs back then and like doing stupid shit. And I completely shifted my lifestyle thanks to mentors and thanks to like, you know, having a mom that like poured into me. So I'm very big on wanting to like provide mentorship. But that's besides the point. It's not
You know,
about me.
that actually plays a part into my whole psychology as well, because like I said, I'm 47 and that's older than your typical content creator, but from the generation of when gangbanging was really going on in the city, especially for Filipinos, because there was a time when if you were Filipino, the stereotype was you was a gang member. And for a lot of Filipinos today, young people, they don't even understand that. I'll give you an example of it. When I was in the Marine Corps, I went to boot camp, and I remember talking to a Mexican dude, right, a drill instructor, right? I was a recruit in boot camp, and he said to me, you know, what's your last name, right? And you go by recruit. That's what they call you, recruiting your last name. So it's Recruit Marcellino, right? You Filipino there, Recruit Marcellino? I said, yes, sir, you know. From now on, you're Recruit Gangbanger. That was a real stereotype.
Damn.
So, and this was in San Diego, and he was probably from LA. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, another thing is people don't really, if you're like into criminal justice, actually, like if you go to school for criminal justice in school, like the Filipino whole gangbanging thing of the 80s and 90s is part of that conversation. you know, because we were right there. You know, all the Hispanic gangs were going on and the Filipinos, and you know, God bless, but it's not really like that no more. Not to that level. You know what I'm saying? Where back then, when you Filipino, you're either a gangbanger or you're related to some. You know, and a lot of times you had to join a set just in order to protect yourself. So, but to go back to me, I grew up kind of like at the tail end of that. So when I was young, that was really popping off. But then the OGs who were doing it, they were just a little bit older than me. And so I saw a lot of them getting locked up. YA, juvie, and then to the pen, you know what I'm saying? And so coming up behind them, I'm like the little brother generation. And a lot of my best friends, their older brothers were OGs. And so being around them coming out, they was already preaching on us. Like to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't get into this shit.
Right. And, you know, even de-escalating already, you know, like, hey, calm down, you know what I'm saying? So like for example, one of my earliest influences was I was at one of my best friend's house, you know, and we were drinking. It was like in high school. We had some girls come over, you know, and one of my best friend's brothers had just got out of jail, right? He came out of YA. Shout out to jail. And this dude was swole, like super swole. I ain't never seen a Filipino dude who was swole like this. Nowadays, it's hella common for Asian people to be swole, you know, and now Asian people are big too. But back then, it wasn't really a common thing. And this dude came out of the bathroom with a towel around his waist, and he was so yoked, we all shut up. Like, you know, we were hella rowdy, and all of a sudden we shut up, you know what I mean? Like, and the girls got quiet too, and when he walked away, the girls were like, you know what I mean? And we were like, oh man, that dude big. But I told myself, man, I want to be swole. I'm just not gonna go to jail to do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went to the service. I went to the military, and the first thing I did when I joined the military is I found my way to the gym. That's when I picked up the weights in the gym. So that was like one of my earliest like influences, but then I took like a positive way.
Yeah. No, I'm very big on the gym too. I didn't grow up like knowing how important fitness was, but not until like maybe my mid-20s is where I was like, oh, fitness plays a big role into your discipline and how you are in your everyday life.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, you know, you joining the military and taking it seriously really elevated you and helped you.
Yeah, that was a big part of it, because I went into service and you know, I was drinking and smoking and all that. I think at the time I was probably smoking like a pack of Newports a day. But I actually came up as a martial artist. I was doing karate. You know, in the Bay Area, especially with Filipinos, like we were all doing point fighting at the time. You know, we all grew up watching Karate Kid. So in the 80s, everybody did karate. That's what we did. And so that was a big part of my upbringing. My pops was a martial artist too. And so when I joined in the service, it was kind of like my way of reconnecting back with the physicality of things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I turned up the drinking when I was in the military, but there's a big thing, and they say in the service, like when you in the service, you either become an alcoholic or you become a gym rat. So I chose to become a gym rat.
Hey, a gym rat over an alcoholic any day. I've also, I stopped drinking. It's going to be a year in August. But before that, I actually stopped drinking the year before. So technically it's 2 years, but I think I drank like 2 times last year. So I don't count my sobriety until like August of last year.
Well, congratulations. That's a big deal.
Thank you.
I quit drinking for like, I think it was like 2 years at one point. Just, not that I felt like I had a problem, but just like, you know, I just want to experience life sober. And sometimes, I mean, really, like drinking is overrated. You know, I enjoy drinking. I like the taste of beer. I like the taste of good tequila. I drink additive-free tequila. I like the taste of whiskey, you know, and so that's why I do indulge now.
Yeah.
But it's getting drunk, you know, getting buzzed is overrated. Like, to me, like, I don't really understand like drinking cheap alcohol. I don't really get that.
Back then it was like I used to drink cheap alcohol because that's all I could afford.
For sure. We all went through the 40-ounce phase.
Right? What was it?
Mad Dog 2020?
Yeah.
Cisco.
There's another one. It was a brown type
Cisco, Night Train.
It was like, it's not E40. It's like
Brass Monkey.
Oh my God.
Royal Gate
Bacardi.
Oh, Bacardi.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God. That was like $20 and they gave you like a big ass bottle.
Yeah.
That shit would
Yeah.
mess me up.
You grew up in the city, right?
Yeah.
You know what a Cuddy Bang is?
Yes. I used to also have like Hennessy with the banana milk.
Gorilla milk.
Gorilla milk. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, the Cuddy Bang is wild, right? Because that's like the real Frisco drink. But who came up with that? What is it? It's Bacardi Limon, Seagram's gin, Tanqueray gin. Why did you combine two types of gin, right? And pineapple juice, right? Like whoever came up with that was really trying to just get drunk, I guess.
Or the high speed too.
Right, yeah, exactly.
High speed is a staple. I used to always have to get high speed. There's like this store in Daly City where there's a taco truck right in
Blue store.
Yeah, the blue store.
Used to be the red store. Did you know that? It used to be the red store.
Did?
Back in the day, it was the red store. Yeah. When we first moved to Daly City,
we need some sponsorship.
It was the red store. Now it's the blue store. Yeah. They're actually the same owners as the one that's popping on off of Valencia. Same owners. No, because the one off of Valencia, exactly. It's the same owner. Yeah. That's why they're popping for their hood drinks too, the baggy drinks.
That's why they always like have music and shit in there. That should be popping.
Yeah, they got the lights on. When you go to the blue store in Daly City, at nighttime, they got the lights on. Like, you feel like you in a club.
Yeah, that shit was popping. Y'all need to come out with a mocktail or a mocktail for me, and I'll be in there. But yeah, back to the whole drinking thing. I guess for me, it's more of like, I want to change the narrative around drinking. Like, there's nothing wrong with drinking, right? If you like to taste it, enjoy your time. But growing up, I feel like it was normalized to like drink till you blacked out.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing most of the time. And there's no fun in that. That's dangerous, one.
Yeah. I think about this all the time, actually. It's like it was like the later Gen X, younger millennial generation that really started taking down bottles of Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? Like, when people go to Vegas and you have a video or a photo of empty bottles of Hennessy, that was our generation that started doing that. And then think about the Cuddy Bang and the high speed and all that. You know what I mean? That's our generation that did that. That's really not good.
And what's crazy? We all look young. We all look young, and we was out there drinking bottles. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if that was the secret ingredient.
You know what I think, though? I don't think it's so much that we look young. I'm going to be real with you, okay? I hear all my homies say that, and I got to check them.
All right.
Well, like, man, we look young.
No.
We like 50 and stuff. I'm like,
we ain't young.
No, we're not young. Because I go, look at your son. Look at my son. They 20, 25, 30, right?
Yeah.
Do you look like that? Nah. But I think what it is why do we look young? It's because we got that swag. We got that American swag, you know what I mean? Born and raised here. And so we don't look like how our parents did. Our parents, our grandparents came from another country, right? Immigrants. But us, we're born and raised here. So, the way we dress, the way we talk is not dissimilar from our children and the next generations. And I think that's why we look young. We're hip.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's definitely not the alcohol, y'all. So don't go drinking bottles. But anyway, let's get into your brand. What have been the biggest misconceptions about being a content creator?
The biggest misconceptions about being a content creator. I think the biggest misconception for me is money.
Ooh.
Like, people think like, oh man, you getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that too.
Yeah, I get that all the time. I mean, I get old coworkers and stuff that be like, when did you quit your job? You know what I mean? Like that. Like, nah. So for me, I know people get paid out there and really do get paid. And there's people out there that I very much respect their hustle on how they get paid.
Yeah.
For me, though, I'm not trying to get paid, again, off these small business restaurants that I work with. That's not how I want to make my money. To me, that's like taking money from your sister or your brother, you know what I'm saying? Those are my people. I'm not taking money from them. That's not what I'm going to use my platform. So for me, the biggest misconception is that I'm making all this money when really it costs me money.
Yeah.
Because of what I do, because I take the camera out, because I film, I'm doing a little bit more. I actually will order more because, okay, maybe I want to put an appetizer in there, you know what I'm saying? And I tip more. It's not uncommon for me to tip 30, even 50% sometimes, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because I feel like, again, I'm representing my brand. I'm representing not only just me, but I'm representing like the industry of content creators.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like calling myself an influencer because there's just some people that really put negativity on that name, and I don't want to be associated with those people. So I don't call myself an influencer. I definitely create content though, you know what I'm saying? But when I move as a content creator, I try to think about representing the community.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I talk about transparency and disclosures of payment and free food, because it's good for the industry. There's content creators out there that look at me like I'm the bad guy, like it's me versus them. It's not me versus you. I'm trying to set a great standard for the industry, because if you think about it, right? I mean, we're creating content here right now.
Yeah.
To have the big brands come in and sponsor you, you're going to have to disclose that. You know what I mean? You talk about it. Thank you to our sponsors and all this. To make the whole influencer game legitimate, we have to be open about this. And that's kind of like my overall idea on that.
I appreciate that, especially the transparency, because that's what builds trust.
Exactly.
With your community, with your audience. And I mean, you deserve to get paid though. I mean, you guys, we need to get this man paid. Get him some brand deals, some partnerships. Like, you are exactly the type of content creator that needs to be getting that paid, because you're not doing it just to get paid. You're doing it for the small businesses. You're doing it to build community, to really help people out. And this is what kills me is like, I see so many good people that are doing this work from the kindness of their heart, literally day in and day out, struggling and still pouring into the community. And they're not getting shit in return.
Yeah.
And that can be very like off-putting maybe. Like it sucks. It sucks when
you
you're
get kind of burnt out, right?
Yes,
Like,
burnt out is
I think a
the
big
word.
part of it too is in the Bay. We don't really have the infrastructure to get paid like this. One of the things I actually do is with my friends, I actively think and discuss how we can get paid legitimately. Like I'll give you an example. Like one thing I've been thinking about, because I've been spending so much time with restaurants, right? Me and my friend Tito Comedazzo, we talk a lot about this, and he does a lot of consulting. So one thing he's been talking to me about is like being a consultant. So taking the information I'm gaining, right? I'm learning a lot of stuff now about both sides of the table, how to run a business, what makes a successful restaurant different from one that folds. And so, like, for instance, like one thing I've been thinking about is, what if I built the skills, you got to build the skills first, right? So that you can get paid for that skill to go into a restaurant and consult them on how to make money. Like something simple, like you guys got way too many different takeout plates here. You have way too many employees here. Why do you have so many employees? Why is you have an extra prep person? That costs money. The location, that's a big thing. There's locations that pop up and they're all in these great corners, but guess what? That comes with high overhead. There's these things that I don't think is talked about a lot in the whole content creator game, where these are the things that a business needs to do to cut down, to be more efficient, right? And then also to the advertising part, because social media, period, the internet is a must for advertising. So what I actually tell businesses is, learn how to do social media yourself. It's easy. Learn how to do it, create your own content, and that's how you get a following. And then what happens is if your food is good, if your service is good, if you got a internet presence, influencers and foodies are going to come see you anyway. Right? Think about all these foodies that are not from the Bay. They be from New York. They be from out of country, Australia, right? During Super Bowl, during FIFA, we had all these influencers from around the world. They go to the same places. They go to La Taqueria and stuff, right? But what I'm saying is, you think they're going over there asking for free food? No, they're going over there supporting. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're a foodie, you're irrelevant if you don't go to certain places. So that's what I tell restaurants. Build your own following. Good food, good service, treat every customer like a VIP, and influencers will come in and support you.
Damn, you just dropped the gem for restaurant owners right now. That was free. You're gonna have to pay for that soon.
Yeah. I mean, think about that right there, right? Treating every customer like a VIP. Shout out to Subculture Deli in South City, Patrick and Fonzie, just talking. As a customer, I'm going in there, and I think I gave him a hint. He kind of reminded me. I don't remember the conversation because, sometimes you just be talking.
Yeah.
And I said that, like, what makes me feel special is when they make me feel like a VIP. Treat every customer like a VIP. Some restaurants, if they know someone's doing a food review, they're going to have their best chef in the kitchen. They're going to make sure you get all the service. But sometimes I come in and they recognize me. They give it to me. I'm not too fond of that, I'll be honest with you, because there's other customers there.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of how they're seeing that. But sometimes I see all this attention on me, and then I also see the lack of attention that's being given to the other customers. One of my favorite restaurants is Mazra. Mazra, you go to Mazra, and you feel like a VIP. Early on, I thought it was me and my wife because we were actually longtime customers since it was Green Valley, their parents' place.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought they were giving us this good service because it was us. And one day I noticed that they're doing the same thing with everyone else. So to go back to subculture told me, hey, remember you told me that? I'm like, nah, I don't remember telling you that. Treat every customer like a VIP. He had it printed and taped to the register. Because you never know who this is.
Yeah.
It could be a influencer. It could be a food reviewer. It could be a customer with a lot of friends and family. It could be a person who works for some corporate company, and all of a sudden you're getting corporate orders, right? Which is a big deal, especially here in San Francisco.
No, I appreciate you saying that, because as I've been doing this podcast, I've been getting invited to do small events, and I'd been doing like live interviews in the Mission. And the people that I met, it's people that I had no idea they were founders or they were doing these big time things. And I was like, whoa. And this is why it's important. Well, I mean, that's not why. I think we should treat each other like human beings regardless, but you just never know,
You don't know
who you're going to meet.
Yeah.
You just don't know, one, what that person is going through, what they're struggling with, or who they are, the opportunities that could come from that conversation. And I'm a firm believer in just treating people with respect no matter what.
Yeah.
Share a smile. You just never know what that could do for that person.
Right. That's a principle right there, right? Treating every person like they're special, right? Don't treat somebody based off of your judgment of their position. You really don't know, especially in today's environment. Billionaires running around in sneakers and fitness clothes all day now, and jeans and t-shirts. You just don't know. And ever since I've been doing social media, what I've noticed is the people who actually have the power and the influence to make things happen, they don't have thousands of followers. They don't. I've been talking about this on my gram. When you meet people, the real movers and shakers in the community that make decisions and make things happen, who has the power to hire you or give you a contract, they don't have a following. They're not. One thing I've noticed, that's another misconception, right, is that if you have a whole bunch of followers, you got power. The people who got power, especially in the Bay, they don't have followers. They may not even be on social media.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you sharing that, because that is real as fuck.
Yeah. I talked about all these connections, right?
Yeah.
These opportunities that have come to me, they came from DMs from people who've been following me. I do check that. Like, I don't really like working with people and you're not even following me type stuff. But I check the DMs and okay, this person's been following me, and it'll be an opportunity, maybe to go to a school or to participate on a panel at some city function. And it's somebody who has no followers, you know what I mean? But a lot of times, as you get into the community, especially if you follow back people for the real connection, right? Not necessarily the amount of followers, or I'm only following foodies and content creators, right? You follow the movers and shakers, and then when you can vet people that way. So when somebody follows you, you go, oh, Veronica's following him, her. Let me message Veronica. That's my podcast home girl, And then I could be like, yo, what's this person about, right? And that's a way we could vet each other.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, going into another question. What's something that people don't see behind the scenes?
Something that people don't. I think one thing that people don't see behind the scenes like real talk, I'm gonna be hella transparent.
Let's do it.
I'm not as nice in real life. I think when people look at my social media stuff, they're like, oh man, he's so nice. And, you know, I'm really not that nice.
Really? Because I didn't get that vibe.
Well, no, okay.
Nice
So I'm gonna just say this, and this is kind of just to be transparent, because when you meet me in person, or the people who know me know, okay,
Yeah.
I'm very blunt. And so I'm the type of person that will say something to you in person, and it may hurt your feelings. I'm being honest.
You're direct, yeah.
And I try not to be an asshole.
Like when you're direct.
But I'm a very blunt person. I'm a very direct person. Like it's a con for me because I hurt friends and family like that.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Cancer.
Oh, never mind.
I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you.
I thought you were going to say Sagittarius or a fire sign.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah. So I think one thing that happens is when like for instance, one thing I do a lot, and people know me for this, is I try to respond to everybody. Mm-hmm. If you comment something worthy, you know, and you're not from a troll account, I really try to respond to everybody. If you ask me a question, I really try to respond to you, because it goes back to that rule, like treat everybody the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, it's kind of hurtful to me in the past, before I was doing content creation, when I would ask an influencer or a creator a question and they don't answer me. You know what I'm saying? And so I try to learn from that, right? So that's why that's my rule. If you're a real person, and for the most part you're being respectful, or it's something I got time for this, right? I will take the time to respond to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you're gonna get the really nice, cleaned up version because it's written, right? In person, you get the unfiltered Adonis Eats, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes when I meet people in person, and I'm outside a lot, people are kind of like, whoa, I didn't expect that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit more, I think I'm louder, unfiltered in person. That's what I mean.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate people that are direct. I always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
I think we need to be surrounded by more people that are honest with each other and transparent, and just being able to be like, hey, you're fucking up, or whatever it is, right? And some people are okay with that and some aren't. I think that's just something that, you know, certain people will be and won't. Me.
And in person as well, right? Like you have to set more boundaries as well, because when you respond on social media, I try to respond when I'm cool, calm, and collective, you know what I'm saying? But in person, if you catch me at the wrong time, I may not have the energy for it.
That's
true.
What I'm
saying? So I may come off mean or, you know, distant when it's just me, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have the energy for it sometimes.
I feel that. I mean, energy's real.
Yeah.
When you're out and about and you're doing shows, or you're creating content, whatever it is, like that's all energy. And when you're already out there, like overstimulated, when some people come up to you, you probably just want to enjoy the meal, or you probably just want to keep to yourself, you know?
Yeah.
But because you're so well known now, I will say that. I feel like you're well known. Like people are going to come up to you. People are going to want to meet you and say hi. And that can take a lot on a human. So I give it up to people that, you know, are constantly taking pictures, or meeting fans, or other people that enjoy their work. Like that is tough. Like I don't think I even want to be famous. I just want to make an impact in the community. Like I don't want the whole like, let's take pictures. It feels like too much energy to me.
It comes with the territory, for sure. That's one thing I've accepted. Earlier, off camera, Veronica, you mentioned the law of attraction.
Yes.
I'm a big thing with the law of attraction too. When that movie came out, because you know the movie came out before the book.
The Secret?
Yeah, The Secret. Right? Did you know that the video came out first? It was actually like a video on, this is the MySpace days.
Damn.
So when the video came out first, and then you paid like $10 to watch it. So I actually watched that, and actually the person who put me onto it was one of the founders of LRG. Because on MySpace days, I was really big on there too, you know, trying to connect with all these movers and shakers. And this dude, actually, they were already big at the time. He was one of them guys that would always respond to people too. And I messaged this dude, and then he sent me this link to the Secret, and I watched it, and that made a big impact on me. And I think I was about 25 at that time. But to go back to the law of attraction, basically it's like what you think about, what you put out, it comes back towards you. So what I will say is this, I'm proud of the content that I put out because in real life, 100% of the interactions I've had have been positive.
That's good.
There's a very small percentage, right? Because if you look at my comments, there's haters in there. But I always try to take this in perspective, right? If a video has 1.5 million views on it, if you get 1,000 hater comments, what is 1,000 compared to the 1.5 million views? You know what I'm saying? So it's a very small percentage. But in real life, I will say that 100% of the interactions have been positive and in some ways have uplifted me even when I'm not feeling it because of the way I've been approached, because people have been so respectful and positive when they see me. So don't let what I said earlier deter you from not saying what's up. If you see me in public, please say what's up. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I actually just came from Vegas, family reunion.
Were you just there like yesterday?
No, I got back on Monday. I was there for like 2 nights, 3 nights. I had my family from New York out there, Sacramento. We had a little family reunion. My sister, shout out to Deshawn, her husband, Russell, my brother-in-law, they hosted us. But I was walking with my brother-in-law. We went to the store. I think it's called Smith's out there. It's like the Safeway or something like that. We went to Smith's. We went to go buy some meat for the barbecue. And I'm walking out and I hear somebody go, Adonis! I turn around. And this Filipino dude all tatted up with some jewelry. He's one of the employees there. He was like, yo, what's up, man? What are you doing here? I'm like, oh, man, with my brother-in-law, you know, family reunion. He was like, man, I'm from the Bay. I've been out here for a few years, you know. You probably know my pops, you know. So I think that's another thing, too, is another thing I'm proud of is, you know, I look at my analytics, the majority of my followers are actually like between the ages of like 35 and 60 is the majority of my followers. So I have an older demographic. In fact, I have more over 65 than 18-year-olds. I have more. So my demographic is more mature. So I also think that when people are more mature, they're actually more likely to say what's up to you in person because they're just confident about themselves. So I get a lot of, like, I'm saying like uncles and big brothers and sisters that say what's up to me. So that feels good.
Oh, I love that. I'm sure. Yeah, don't let him saying that stop you guys from saying hi. But I'm sure like when you're out and about and people say hi to you and they remember, they know who you are and they're like, oh my God, you helped me with this, or yo, I love your content. Like that is beautiful and amazing. That's the whole point of like why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into another question. What do you hope your legacy is in the Bay?
I like that question. Yeah, I think about this all the time. And I always think about my kids, you know, my wife. But my legacy, I hope, is that maybe one of my videos, something I put out, maybe something I said on this podcast, maybe something I've said in real life will leave an impression on somebody who does something greater than I ever did, you know? Maybe it's one of my kids, you know what I'm saying? But one thing I always think about is like when we do content, it's important because you're documenting your life and your legacy. So I could pass away, you know, crossing that bridge, going back home. What are people going to look at? They're going to go, oh, wow, he just did this pod with Veronica. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I try to do content with that in mind, knowing that if I were to die today, that is what is left behind. But as far as legacy, I want my kids, I want the people to look at that stuff and go, wow, he was really on to something. He was doing something and he was communicating something worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? Because I also think too, it's very important that as older people of the culture, and when I say that, right, yes, I'm talking about Filipino Americans, but I'm also talking about representatives from the Bay. You know, I'm really tied in with my Hispanic community and my African American community and our PIs out here. We have a very unique culture here in the Bay. And if we let, I want to say this in a right way, because we have a lot of viral content out there, but it's not tasteful. It could be disrespectful. So it's not the type of stuff that you want your kids growing up to. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's funny.
Yeah.
Right?
And then
it's us. Right? Maybe younger. Right?
Back in the day.
Back in the day. So that's why we connect to it.
Yeah.
But also there's the older versions of us. And so I think it's important for us to create content and put out wisdom and show our Bay Area brethren how we move. Does that make sense?
Hell yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because again, we're a unique people out here in the Bay. And I think like initially, I mean, at least for me, right, like there's a big line between being a square and being like a dude, you know what I'm saying, on the streets, you feel me? But as I've gotten older and I start looking at like a lot of the older people who have matured and who are doing big things, you know, watching people like E40, Too Short, and, you know, even all the, because I'm a big fan of hip hop. I grew up in hip hop. And you listen to what these gangster rappers are talking about now in their 50s, right? Like, I don't remember who it was, but I think it was one of them LA gangster rappers. We're talking about the music that they put out. And they're like, you know how old I was when I did that? Like 15, 16, 17. That's not what I will be talking about. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
So I want more of that knowledge. I love listening to OGs talk. I love when OGs come out and they tell their old stories and then they talk about their perspectives now. We need more of that.
I agree.
And that's kind of like what I'm trying to motivate other older people to do, is to put out content as older people, you know, and normalize it.
Yeah.
Right now it's kind of a weird thing. Like I had a kind of lightweight family reunion last night. One of my unks actually passed away, so we were at a funeral, but I had my family there, my friends, we've known each other since we were kids, and talking to them, they're like, it's wild that I'm doing this content creation stuff. But I'm like, man, it'd be dope to see you on a pod. I'd love to bring you on a pod. You know, I was talking to you about maybe jumping in the studio, because I would love to cover their stories and the stories that come with that, right?
And everyone got a story. That's what I love about this. And you know what you said a little bit earlier, the Bay Area is known for a lot of things. High feed movement, lowriders, all this, you know, we know how to have a good time. Right. But to be able to highlight the OGs, the people that have like picked a different pathway, that are just trying to put food on the table for their family, are trying to raise their kids, are trying to do better for themselves, make better decisions. Like, that's what I want to highlight from the Bay. I want people to see that we're more than just the hyphy movement. We're more than just high speeds and partying. Like, we're really trying to pour into our community.
Right.
I had Equipto on the podcast.
Oh man, I love Equipto, man. That's Big Brother right there. Shout out to E.
Yeah, he's amazing. Like, he's been pouring so much in the community. Like, I love being able to highlight folks like that.
Yeah.
That are just trying to like uplift SF, trying to uplift Bay Area. So I appreciate you saying that, because that just shows like we are aligned on the same mission. So I hope that we can continue, you know, collaborating, and, you know, when things come up, we can continue pouring into the community.
Equipto is actually a great example of what we've been talking about, because I've been a fan of Equipto since Board Stiff days, you know, back when I was like, I might have been like 13 or something the first time I heard Board Stiff, where Equipto came from, right, his crew, and then watching him throughout his years, you know. And I got to hang out with him recently at the Black and Brown Clubhouse on Valencia with some mutual friends. One of my good friends is a longtime childhood friend of his. Shout out to Max. But talking to him, seeing the stuff that he's put out now in social media, talking to him in person and watching him with his daughter, like, I've been, again, able to see a real Bay Area dude go through his career, made a career out of hip hop, and then talking to him now and being able to experience his wisdom now. And that's great. You know, I want to see more content from people like Equipto and stuff like that.
Hell,
there's a lot of people to cover. We
yeah.
just have to get people to open up.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's the part, open up. And you know, what I see a lot is a lot of these other content creators that put out like funny stuff, dumb stuff. But I get it. It's relatable. Like that shit goes viral. But I post something that's positive, motivating, and it gets a few views or a few comments. And it sucks because like that's the shit that needs to go viral. So people can have that wisdom, can hear the growth, what we've been through, the gems. But for me, I'm like, it's not about that. It's about if one person can get something out of it, then I'm happy. Yeah. Of course, I'd want, you know, the whole community to see it, right? But if they don't, it is what it is. I just wish that maybe not our generation, but just the world would be more receptive to positive shit.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's always the drugs and the violence and the sex, the controversial stuff that goes viral. I think about this all the time as well because there's videos that I really pour my heart into or they really mean a lot to me and I really hope for them to pop off, but I know they're not going to pop off and they really don't, you know. Like I just give you an example, like I volunteered my time to help with mental health for Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I hooked up with, it's because it's a bigger company now, but it's basically the company that has the contract for 988, the Suicide Awareness Month, right? And so I did content on that, but it didn't get a whole lot of numbers on it when I think like those type of things are important, especially like I'm very aware of a lot of suicides that have been happening in the Bay Area from not only peers, but also nieces and nephews. You know, it's really wild right now, like how many young people are taking their lives right now. So mental health is a very crucial thing. I think that needs to be discussed. I've battled my own mental health, which is why this is important for me. But at the same time, I also feel like my mental health journey is a big reason why if I'm successful at this, why I'm successful, because this has been an outlet for me. And having an outlet, you know, is into art, into creation. Like sometimes that passion comes from a place of pain. You know what I mean? And for me, like I have some pain, you know, that I deal with that I try to put out in a positive way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're turning your pain into purpose.
Yeah.
There's a lot of folks that I've interviewed that same thing. They say they've gone through some pain, they're going through some pain, and they just use that as fuel for their purpose. And that's beautiful. That's what we all got to do. But I understand, like, when you're in the rut, when you're going through stuff, it's so hard to see the light. And I think that's why it's important for us as individuals to empower each other, even strangers, because you just don't know how that can really just change someone's day, someone's life. That person could have been walking to go, you know, off themselves. You just don't know. But anywho, let's go into, I wanted to try something new with that I haven't done yet with my interview guests. We're going to do a rapid fire. So I'm just going to ask you like a question and you're just going to answer it real quick. And then we'll be closing down with like 2 questions. Okay, so I have a couple, well, more than a couple. First one. Favorite Bay Area restaurant?
Frank Grizzly, San Francisco, 3rd Street. I'm biased because they're family, and they treat me like VIP, and they treat everybody like VIP. So
I remember he has different taste buds too, right? Like we're all
individuals, and we're all biased in our ways. But Frank Grizzly, shout out to Frank Grizzly. It's a special place in the city. We don't have a whole lot of real mom and pop places. It's our special place. I say our, like the community special place in the city. Shout out to Frank Grizzly.
Okay, we're gonna have to look that up. Next one, most underrated Bay Area restaurant.
Most underrated Bay Area restaurant.
A lot of them.
Ooh, there's a lot of them. Let me pick someone else besides Frank Grizzly. I think Safra Grill in South City is very underrated. It's Mediterranean, it's Palestinian food. They actually do this beautiful plate of lamb shank over rice, and they bake a bread on top of it, and they cut the
Ooh.
bread open, and it steams up, and you have the lamb shank and the juices all up on the rice. But yeah, they're over there in South City, and actually they're doing okay. It's just the location they had was pretty small. They actually built into the place next door, so they have a huge dining space. So shout out to Safra Grill in South City.
Oh, okay.
They have great bread. All the bread is baked in-house.
Bread. I love bread.
Yeah.
One place everyone should try before they die.
I'm gonna go with House of Prime Rib. House of Prime Rib to me is just really nostalgia. I'm biased, being a San Franciscan, but I just feel like when you're inside of House of Prime Rib, you are in this atmosphere of all these generations of San Franciscans, poor, rich, all classes, different jobs, it's so diverse in there. The service is always top notch. If you haven't been to House of Prime Rib, like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, I went once, but I was hella years ago. Now I'm gonna have to go back.
It's good times. It's good times.
All right, best tacos.
Ooh, best taco. I'm gonna go with La Taqueria Dorado style.
Ooh.
But you gotta get them Dorado style.
Dorado style, is it with the fried cheese?
Yeah, so what they do when you order the taco, they take the outer tortilla and they fry it so it's crunchy, and they put cheese between that and the inner tortilla. I don't know if this is a hot take, but my opinion, there's really no point in going to La Taqueria unless you do Dorado style. So for the tacos, I just told you what that means.
Yeah.
For the burrito, they grill it so it's golden brown on the outside. If you're not doing Dorado style, which actually costs a little bit of money, so that's like a $22 burrito, and it's not that big. There was in the past, I'd have to get 2 of them Dorado style burritos, but Dorado style is a must.
Damn, those burritos are fire. I haven't had those in a minute. Best burger.
Best burger.
I love a good burger. So I'm curious to know what your answer is.
I feel like I've had a lot of good ones lately. I'm gonna go with Beeps.
That's a staple.
Just
That's a fire ass burger.
There's burgers that are better, right? But when you talk about, there's a lot of things, right, that go into this. So accessibility, like they're open late. It's not too far from my house. It's from the neighborhood I grew up in. So I'm gonna go with Beeps.
Okay, I love that. I love Beeps.
Yeah. And plus Beeps has some haters out there. So
what?
Another reason why I'm gonna put Beeps out there. Yeah. Yeah.
You know you're doing something right when you got haters though.
Yeah.
What about best late night food?
Best late night food? I'm gonna go with El Farolito or Guadalajara. You can't lose.
No, you can't go wrong with either of those two.
Let me add another one too.
Go for it.
Panchitas.
Oh,
if you want to do some pupusas, yeah.
That's a good one.
Those are probably my top 3 right now for late night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's literally, I think, a staple for us Bay Area folks.
Yeah, especially the pupusas. I think burritos are really a staple food in San Francisco. Pupusas is kind of a level up, I think. You know what I mean? Like, I got Puerto Rican family from New York, and when they came out here and I brought out the recommendations or the suggestions, they were like, let's get some pupusas. So,
okay. Yeah. Pineapple on pizza?
Not anymore. When I was younger, yes, not anymore.
I'm not gonna lie. I can eat pineapple on pizza. I know there's a controversy of like whether you like it or don't like it.
I'm not mad at it. When I was in the military, there was a time when I would order Domino's and it was always a pineapple and ham pizza. Now I just like a plain pepperoni pie or a mushroom pie.
Yeah, I wouldn't order it just to order it. Like if I was at a party and they only had pineapple pizza, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, I'll probably go for it too if that's the pizza that they had.
There's something about the pineapple with the pizza that's
sweet and salty.
There you go.
Yeah, the lamb about that saltiness.
I'm like, it was perfect, huh?
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good, yeah.
So sorry to those that don't want like pineapple on their pizza.
I'm not mad at it though.
What's one food you'll never eat?
One food that I'll never eat?
Or will you eat it all?
I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty open, especially nowadays, especially I'm in this foodie thing right now. I'm pretty open to try everything at least once. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's one restaurant you've reviewed the most?
Reviewed the most?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, what restaurant have I eaten? Man, it's kind of hard for me because I have like a handful of restaurants that I frequent so much that maybe I post a picture for my gram or something like that. So there's really a lot of them. It's because I have probably like 5, 10 restaurants that I frequent all the time.
You can name them all if you want.
I named Frank Grizzly already. Like I'm kind of, again, I'm biased because they're homies for real. That's my disclosure. But they just
You're
really,
a good friend.
But you know what it is too is and this is it. I'm learning this. I have experienced them get better. Here's the deal, right? A restaurant often hires chefs. No, they cook. They are the people in the kitchen. And so I've been able to experience how their food gets better. I've been able to give them recommendations on my taste, you know what I mean? So when you talk about reviewing, I've probably done it the most with them. You know, I eat Guadalajara all the time, but I don't know who's cooking back there. You know what I'm saying? Is it always the same? No, it's not always the same. It depends, right?
Yeah.
Beeps. I mean, I've been to Beeps so many times. There's times it's better than other times, you know what I mean? But at least that, like, I know the consistency is there because I know who's cooking.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I think that's another part about reviewing. Like, how can you review it if you're not going at different dates and times? You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Because it's always going to be someone different.
It's always somebody different for the most part.
It's just like when you go to a Chipotle, sometimes you're going to get a bowl that's nice and then another time you're going to get a shitty ass bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I always remember like way back in the day, I ate at a Church's Chicken in a random neighborhood in Sacramento. I think it was in the hood. And it was one of the best fried chicken experiences I ever had. And it was a bunch of these old Filipino ladies cooking in the back. You know, but I've been to a Church's Chicken where I'm like, I can't eat this. It's not edible.
Speaking of chicken, have you tried, I think it's called The Porch at SF?
I don't think so.
Their fried chicken is fire. If you like, if you love fried chicken, like I love fried chicken. I was volunteering at Lover's Lane in February, and
I missed out. I got over there late.
You got to be there next year. I'm part of the committee.
Okay.
I'm helping them put it together. But they gave the volunteers food from The Porch, and I tried their fried chicken for the first time. I swear to you, best fried chicken I've had. But like you said, it could have been who made it that day.
Yeah.
But that shit was bomb. Yeah. So if you go, shout me out.
Okay. The Porch.
The Porch, yeah.
Yeah.
It's on Mission, like by 30th.
Okay.
Okay. Coffee or boba?
Coffee.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Last one. If someone had 24 hours in the Bay, where are you taking them?
House of Prime Rib. Guadalajara.
Beeps. Franks.
Beeps. You know what's funny is a lot of people a lot of Middle America and East Coast, a lot of them, the first thing they want to try is In-N-Out. And a lot of them are fans of it, actually. So it's not like it's their first time, but they're like, first thing I want to do is get In-N-Out. That's what I've noticed.
In-N-Out, though, I don't know if you're a fan, but I'm a fan of burgers.
I'm a fan of In-N-Out. You're not an In-N-Out fan?
No, I'm an In-N-Out girl. Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of In-N-Out haters.
No, I'm not one of those. Yeah. I love me an In-N-Out burger. I love burgers, period. I order burgers all the time.
You know, we got 2 in De La City, so I live in De La City. Like,
yeah, it's right by you.
Yeah.
What about Five Guys?
Five Guys is cool. I think there was a time I lived in the East Coast for like 3 months, and I ate it weekly. So it's not necessarily something I crave anymore. But when I eat it, it's. I used to go to the movie theater at Tanforan and go order it, put it in a bag, and eat it in the theater.
Yeah,
it hits every time I get it. Yeah, I do the patty melt style.
Oh, I love a patty melt.
Flip the buns over. Yeah,
I love me a patty melt. Okay.
Yeah,
I could talk all day about burgers. I live in Oakland now, so I've tried like True Burger, A+ Burger. Damn, there's a couple other I can't.
Are you into smash burgers?
Yes, I love smash burgers.
The new one? Mailer Jet?
Oh, no.
No, that's the one that's out there in the sunset. They got a brick and mortar. I want to go, but I'm not a big fan of lines, so I'm waiting for it to die down. But a burger that I thought was great that I had recently is Smish Mash. It's probably the best smash burger I've had so far.
What is the place called again?
It's called Smish Mash.
Smish Mash.
Yeah, it's at the Salu Hall, which is next to the IKEA on Market Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Like
check
that's
it
a
out.
legit smash burger. I've had a lot of smash burgers in the city that are great, but that's the best one I've had.
There's also another one that opened up a couple months ago in San Leandro. It's called Smash Burger.
I've heard about that.
Their marketing is like really good.
That's the one that has didn't they have a breakfast burrito that
yeah, that
was
breakfast burrito
viral?
looks good.
Yeah, I think Cesar Hernandez called it one of his favorites in the Bay, which
I have yet
that's
to
a
try.
big deal. So I want to try it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too far from Oakland. It's like a maybe 15, 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a spot I need to try.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
It's kind of funny though, but the first time I go there, I'll probably go for the breakfast burrito because of the acclaim.
Yeah, and you'll have to make a video.
I will probably, yeah.
I'm a foodie too. I don't create content, but guilty pleasure. I love watching the ASMR videos.
Really?
Of people eating. I don't know why.
Mukbang, they call
The
it, right?
mukbangers, yeah. I don't know why. I have no idea. But there's some people that really can't stand that. And me, I'm like, I'll sit there and I'll watch it. So I've contemplated sometimes like, should I do some mukbangs? Because there's a community for it.
There is. There's a huge community. You know, for me, I actually, when I first started, I only filmed the food. Right. Then it got kind of old to me. So then I started because I wanted to, I'm like, people are saying, put yourself in the camera more. Because I have my wife, I have my kid who love to participate. So that's great. But I actually edit out a lot of the eating out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's probably a lot of editing too.
Yeah. Just to cut out like extra stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I mean, in reality, who takes one bite and knows whether it's good or not? I got to take like 2 or 3, right? But I'm not going to give you 2 or 3 bites. That's like 61 minutes and 30 seconds already of the video. I edited it out.
There you go. Y'all got it. The raw truth here of how the editing goes. And
how do you take one bite and it's already bomb? It makes absolutely no sense to me.
That's true though. Yeah. You won't know in that first bite.
Or you take it and you're already smiling. Like you didn't even swallow it yet. Come on.
You didn't even feel the flavor.
Yeah,
you know?
try to taste it.
All right. We're gonna start closing down now. Okay. Looking back at the younger version of yourself, what would you tell him today?
Oh, I would say have faith, trust the process, one day at a time, use every opportunity to learn, to build upon that. Because every little single thing you're doing, there's a reason for it, even the difficult stuff. And you don't know why you got to go through this difficulty. But one day you'll know. Because when I look at a lot of the stuff I'm doing that's obvious to the audience now, a lot of the stuff I'm good at is because I was dealing with some difficult stuff and I had to learn through it. You know what I mean? There's jobs I had in the past. Like I used to sell sneakers at Ceremony Mall. I used to bag groceries at Lucky's on Alamany, right? These customer service things. I mean, that goes to dealing with the public. You know what I'm saying? So all those little skills, little Adonis, pay attention, take your time. There's a reason for it, even the difficult stuff.
I love that. And for the folks that are listening, and just take your time.
Take your time.
Take your time and things will eventually be able to connect for you. Sometimes things connect looking back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I always say run the marathon. It's not a sprint. You know what I mean? There's people that you're going to meet today. There's things that you're going to do today that will not make sense until later on.
And then my other question is, if you can give a message to someone who's maybe trying to follow your footsteps and build community, also be a foodie creator, what gem would you leave them with, if you could leave them with anything?
I would say the most important thing is to stabilize yourself, stabilize your situation. So you can't go into this content creation thing to do what I do, which is as a passion and to give the way I do and to give my time with community. You can't do that if you're broke, to be honest. You got to make your money. If you go into this content creating game to make money, you're not going to move the way I move. I'm sorry. Your desires will be different from mine. So what I would say is make your money, find a career, establish yourself, and then maybe you can start to do this on the side. Like you had told us earlier that you started doing this pot in your kitchen. Start somewhere. Do that on the side and then build those skills up. Yeah, but you got to take care of yourself financially, especially living in the Bay.
I agree. Stability is so important, especially for your mental health.
Right.
Living in the Bay is expensive as hell.
And that's the thing about money, right? You're never rich enough, right? There's a point where you're taking care of yourself. But if you're taking care of yourself, then your mental health is going to be a lot better if you don't have to worry about feeding your kids or feeding your wife, feeding yourself.
Yeah. And one more thing. You mentioned how you participated in men's mental health awareness. Is there a message you would leave out there for men when it comes to mental health?
Yeah, I would say if you need to see a therapist, see a therapist. I look at seeing a therapist like hiring a physical fitness instructor at the gym. You would hire a physical fitness instructor to put on some muscle. Maybe you're preparing for a marathon. You would hire a trainer, right? A therapist or a social worker is the same. They help guide you. And so when we talk about eliminating the stigma from mental health, that's exactly what we mean. There should be no stigma about it. Again, you should be able to get help, therapy, meds if you got to do that, like it's normal.
Yeah.
If you need it, say something, speak to somebody, holler at me. Maybe there's resources at work in the community, and get your mental health taken care of. Seeing a therapist and being honest with myself about that is the best thing I've done for myself. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for that.
I appreciate you saying that as someone who's a therapist.
You're a therapist?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm an associate therapist, and I'm very big. I've also had to unlearn that stigma myself because I grew up in a household where only crazy people did therapy.
Right. We grew up in a time where being strong meant keeping things to yourself, not saying anything. I don't believe that. Other thing I want to say, for young people who may be thinking about therapy, careers, young people who are thinking about careers or a way to make money, I think that therapy is a big deal. The whole mental health thing is exploding ever since COVID. It's been a pandemic itself. And so we need more therapists, and we especially need therapists of color, men, women. Like for me, it's important for me to have a therapist that's Filipino, if not Filipino, Hispanic, if not that, somebody who grew up in an urban area and is not going to look at me crazy when I talk about things that us Bay Area people deal with, right? And so I'm a big advocate for telling my nieces and nephews, like, hey, why don't you be a therapist? Because we need representation in that field.
Damn,
There's not enough Hispanic, Asian, Black therapists in the field now.
I agree. And even for myself, I have my own therapist who I've picked out myself. And I was like, she needs to be like this and like this.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can explain my experience and not feel judged.
Right.
And that's the importance of having a therapist. There's way too many people out here that don't go to therapy. And I respect people's autonomy. I respect people's journey. But I know firsthand how much it has changed my life. And, you saying it has helped you too.
Right.
So I do.
And to add to that too, maybe you've been to therapy and you think it didn't help you or you didn't like it, get someone else.
Yep.
Get someone else.
Yeah.
Keep trying. You don't like the person you're with, get someone new.
Yep. This is my second or third therapist. Sometimes you just got to find the right person.
You don't vibe with them.
Yeah.
Right? It's like meeting a friend. You're not going to vibe with everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you saying that. I'm so big on wellness, overall wellness work when it comes to physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. So those are the 4 pillars that I do my best to embody daily, and I try to share that with my audience. So I appreciate you saying that. And lastly, what's next for you? Is there anything that they should be aware of that you're going to be, doing or?
So San Francisco Pistahan is coming up soon. I'm going to be participating in a food live panel over there. We're going to have Carabao from Napa, which is a high-class Filipino restaurant. The chef comes from French Laundry, so I'm going to be helping moderate that. And also, I'm participating on a mental health panel the same day for that. I don't have the dates on me, but look that up. San Francisco Pistan, that's a big deal. Also, we have Top of the Hill Festival, De La City. Have you been?
I've never been.
Oh, man.
I know when I'm right by there.
I think it's October 17th. It's in October.
Okay.
This will be the 3rd annual one. The first one was cracking. The second was hella cracking. Like double, triple. And here's the thing, right? It's almost like a high school reunion from San Francisco to San Bruno, okay? Think about that, okay? Of all ages, okay? And no drama. No drama. And
I love that. I
yeah,
love that,
but
no drama.
I don't want to give up the name of the main performer, but there's performances, there's music. Come out, Top of the Hill Festival. I'm biased, but to me, that's the best block party in the Bay Area.
Damn, I have never been.
You got to go this year.
Okay, remind me, or I'll also look out for your stories too. Yeah. Okay, is there anything else, or?
No, those are the big things I'm thinking of right now. I'm just gonna again take it day by day and continue to create content of the restaurants I want to do, that I enjoy, and continue to connect with people like yourself in the community.
Are you open to doing like keynote speaking, other panels, things like that?
Yeah. I've actually done a keynote speech for Westmore High School in Daly City recently. I've done other panels. I'm open for it. If there's something, the audience wants me to participate in, hit me up. I'm just going to say, make sure you're following me before you hit me up.
Yeah, for real.
I get a lot of requests from people who don't follow me. And to me, that's just weird.
Yeah.
Right? They'll get in my DMs or like, hey, I'm a big fan of yours. And I'm like, you don't follow me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, again, I don't get paid for this. The connection is what's important to me.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
That's the thing. It's like, we got to work on our people skills.
Yeah. Or when they ask you to like share their stuff, their resources, and they're not following you or they don't engage with you.
Right. And even that too, like, don't expect you're going to get my resources off top, okay? There's people I've known for 20, 30 years and I wouldn't give them my resources, all right? You got to build for things, you know what I'm saying?
You guys, we got to build genuine connections.
Genuine relationships.
Build community. Like,
right.
I know there's a lot of people out there, and I feel like I'm seeing community a lot now, but I don't think people get what that actually means. That means actually like being in real life, like to the events, meeting people, embodying that, and sharing space with people. And that's, that'll take time for people to understand, but that's what community is.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm honored, and I'm excited to see, what else is in store for you, and what we can possibly work on together too. So thank you so much for being here. It's definitely an honor. Until next time.
Thank you for having me, Veronica.
Yeah, thank you. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. I know this took a little bit over an hour, but honestly, we can talk. Like, y'all know me, I'm a yapper.
So am I.
So if you haven't yet, please subscribe, please comment, please share. It costs $0 to do so. And if you guys have any questions, anything at all, DM me, shoot me a message, send me an email. I'm an open book. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help and guide. And for those that know, I did recently open up my coaching program in June. I am revamping it and changing things a little bit, so be on the lookout for that. As always, I love y'all. Stay blessed.